All right, now we're going to show a use substitution example with trig in it. And don't be afraid of trig. Trig is easy. You know, the only trig integrals we know so far are the ones that are produced by derivatives. And in the past, I said you could only integrate, say, the sine of x, the cosine of x, the secant squared of x, and so on. It has to be an x. Well, now we can make that x a u. So nothing changes. These formulas that you know, the only thing that changes the x is a u for both the x and the dx. So there are no new formulas. We just may have to use u substitution to get a trig function that looks like one of these. So here's an example. So now we have the integral of cosine of x over 9. So we couldn't do this one in the past because it wasn't cosine of x like it had to be. We can fix that by making it cosine of u du. So this is actually a pretty easy one to do because there's really not that much guessing involved here. You have to, since we can only integrate cosine of u, you have no choice. You have to make u x over 9 and hope that it works out. So the next step, as always, is to choose du, and the derivative of x over 9, or 1/9 x, is just 1/9 dx. So looking at my function, this is going to be u. The other thing I need to figure out is what is dx? Well, that's right here. So from this equation down here, dx, if I just multiply both sides by 9, dx equals 9 du. So let's make the substitutions. The integral of, now we have cosine of u times dx, which is 9 du. So that would go here. I'm not going to write it here. Oops. Because that just looks bad, looks funny. 9's a constant. So that's the straight substitution, but always keep that constant out in front. There you go. So cosine of u, we know that the derivative of sine is cosine. So the integral of cosine is sine. So that's it. We have 9 sine of u plus c, but we have to resubstitute our u back in, and that's it. I'm pretty confident here that was pretty easy. Let's just see make sure Wolfram Alpha checked correctly. My last video, I was wrong. There you go. I would suggest, like, I'm using Wolfram Alpha, but I would suggest trying to differentiate your answers to make sure that you get the integrand. It's just good practice for differentiation, which you will need. So that was easy. The next video, we'll do another one that might be a little bit more complicated. We'll see.